Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. We are here to review Married at First Sight, the After Party Season 18, Episode 9. I know I'm late, but we are here, okay? Married at First Sight don't even come back for like another week, so technically I'm on time. I really am, okay? But anyway, you guys, if this is your first time here, I need you to do me a favor. Sit back, relax, watch the video through, and if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If y'all one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I really hope y'all enjoyed y'all Christmas. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into this review. This review has taught me that Madison is still lying, okay? She's still a liar, and Akeche is just still full of ish. It just is what it is, okay? So the first part of the after party is Keisha, Madison, Akeche, and our special guest, Katie. I don't know that lady's last name. I'm not going to attempt to say her last name because y'all know I will butcher a name, okay? But nonetheless, she is a comedian. So Keisha asked Katie what she think of the couples, and she said watching them makes her feel like she needs to be in therapy with them. Yes, girl. That's exactly how I feel like I need to be on somebody's couch, talking it out. But instead, I'm talking it out with y'all, all right? She said it's a lot, and I agree it's a whole lot going on, okay? I feel like only one couple is progressing, and the rest are just in shambles. A mess. It's all a mess. So the first clip of the night we have is Alan telling Madison that he thought she left, and she's telling him that she was in the bathroom. Now, y'all already know I don't believe Madison. I just don't. There's nothing she can say to convince me that she was in the bathroom. But nonetheless, Keisha said, Madison, what happened? What happened, girl? And Madison said that when they go out drinking, Alan becomes obnoxious. He becomes a lot. And she doesn't like that side of him. She doesn't really get along with that side of him, okay? So she told her girlfriends that she needed a break. So they decided to go to the bathroom. And when they came back, Alan was gone. Now, listen. I don't believe Madison. I just don't, okay? I really believe that Madison told her friends, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around this man. Get me out of here. And they left, okay? But let's just say they did go to the bathroom. Let's just say she did. Why wouldn't she text Alan looking for him? Alan said that, he was looking for her. And someone told him that she left. So in my mind, it would make sense why Alan wouldn't text because obviously you didn't want to be here. But if you came out the bathroom and you saw Alan was gone, why didn't you text him, girl? Because you didn't care. Either way, Madison, you didn't care. So Keisha's like, I know you two are struggling at the moment, but is there any hope that you guys can get back to the wedding bliss, okay? Madison said, I feel like we can. I really do. Lie, because that's what she does, lie. She said that her and Alan are good at having conversation, but they're not communicating well. Because you don't spend time with him. How are you guys going to learn each other and learn how to communicate with each other when you prioritize everybody except for him? Because Dr. P pointed it out in y'all session. So if that's what's going to take to get y'all back to this wedding bliss, it's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. So then we watched the clip of MM talking to her friends at lunch, talking about how Akeche called her aggressive and how he's not showing up for her. So Keisha said, Akeche, how does it feel hearing that you're not showing up for MM? He said, there's some truth to it. But the questions that they were asking, I was answering. It just wasn't enough for them. Akeche, please stop. Let me tell you something. It wasn't enough. You say the same thing every single time. Oh, we just met each other. I'm trying to get to know her in the moment. This isn't a regular dating process. Like, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Of course it's not enough. Of course it's not. There's no intention. There's no plan. But he's still going on and on and on about how he wants to get to know her in the moment. And then Keisha finally made it make sense. Because I've been trying to figure out what he meant by this for the longest. But basically he wants to, just show me who you are. I want to be around you and I want to just learn who you are. Show me who you are versus telling me who you are. Boo, boo, boo. Aren't you the same one who said that you started dating with intention and you wanted to know if they wanted to have kids and if they wanted to be married? Those are questions. So, of course, you have to ask questions. And then in this process, it's very intense because you only have 8 weeks. You don't have the luxury of sitting around and me just showing you who I am. Like, no, Keche, absolutely not. You're full of ish. You're full of ish, and I see right through you, and it just is what it is. So then we watched a clip of Madison saying that she needs compliments from Alan in order for her to prioritize him, which I already told y'all sounds stupid, but hey, whatever. So Keisha asked her how did she really feel during that conversation. Madison says she gets frustrated every time she talks to the experts because it feels like everything's falling back on her. It is because you're the one struggling the most. And because you're struggling, it's making it hard for Alan. So, of course, everything's going to fall back on you. She said that even though Alan is more invested, she wants him to take accountability too, like plan dates and compliment her. She feels like he's not doing anything actively to help them progress. And I'm like, and neither are you, and you're not making it easy. How can he plan something for you when you make time for everybody but him? The man's been telling you that he just wants some quality time for the longest, but you choose to overlook that and then say, oh, he's not telling me what he needs. There's no sympathy coming from this end. It's just not happening. You are the issue, so it's going to keep falling back on you. Katie said, well, if he's saying you look nice, maybe that's the only way he knows. He doesn't know exactly what you need unless you tell him. I mean, I feel like that's like common sense. No, it's not because she's not getting it. She says, oh, I understand what you're saying. Maybe my approach was wrong. Absolutely. Absolutely. But are you going to change? No. No, you're not. And then they started going into this thing, like souping her head up about how, she's the best woman Alan ever had. She's the baddest bitch in the room. He never could get anybody like her. He's like a little kid in a candy store. He's crushing on her so hard. Like, I mean, God damn. I was sitting here like, she ain't all that. I'm sorry, but she ain't all that, okay? She's just not. Y'all doing a lot. Y'all doing a lot, making it seem like Alan's so timid and so scared around her. Maybe a little bit, maybe a tad bit. But that's because he's still trying to learn her and she really is not giving him the opportunity. It just is what it is. So then we watched a clip of Alan and Madison playing Twister. And Keisha said, so one of the questions was, have you thought about Alan in a sexual way? And I'm like, no. Please stop. Y'all know she didn't. She said, of course, because on a wedding day when she saw him in his suit, of course she's going to wonder what he looks like, naked. If you say so, Madison, if you say so, even though we know you're not attracted to him, we know you're struggling with that. So I highly doubt when you saw him in his suit, you was like, ooh, what he look like naked. I don't feel like that's what happened. But I will say this, I feel like you thought like, I don't know if I can have sex with him. And if that's in a sexual way, then of course. So Keisha asked Madison, are you and Alan different off screen? Or is this how it is all the time? Madison was like, no, we're not. This is just how it is. So Keisha asked Madison, what's giving her hope that this will work? Honestly, it doesn't really matter what Madison say because she's lying. She's a liar, okay? But anyway, she said that, the connection that they had on the wedding day still gives her hope that there's something there. Right. If you say so. I'm not going to argue with you, girl. I'm not going to argue with you. So then we watched a clip of MM in her confessional talking about Akeche showing his ass at dinner. So Keisha said, Akeche, let us hear your point of view. He said that they were out at dinner, laughing, having a good time, and then the mood just changed and things got intense. He was answering the questions she was asking, but then again, she didn't like the way he was answering the questions. And then they had a few words back and forth, and she said, don't raise your voice at me. And he said, I'm not raising my voice at you. And then she was like, let's get up and go. And when they got back to the apartment, she cussed his behind out. I'm sure she did. Because she's tired of all this fluff that you keep trying to throw in her face because it sounds like BS and it sounds generic. It's scripted. Okay, Shay, you have to be transparent and you have to be vulnerable and you have to be real. And you're not doing that. And because the cameras weren't there, you definitely wasn't about to put on the show because there was no need to. I already saw this coming. I already know what was up. He says he didn't yell at her, but he apologized if she felt like he yelled at her. Child, you're not going to apologize for yelling if you know you didn't yell. Make it make sense, Akeche. That's how I know you just be lying. So Keisha's like, so you didn't yell? And he was like, no. So she was like, so then make this make sense. Make this make sense. What changed the mood? He said, I wasn't giving her the answer she wanted. I feel like there's some truth to that. I definitely do, because if I was I would be upset too. Because once again, there's no intention and there's no plan behind any of the answers that you were giving. So Keisha said, Akeche, I need you to give us an example because we're unclear of what's really going on. He said she asked to see pictures of his ex, and he felt like she was trying to compare herself to his exes. Now, that's kind of weird. Because if you ask Akeche to see pictures of his exes, I can understand how this switched up. I definitely could get it, okay? I definitely could get it. Because, like, why? That shows signs of insecurity. Like, that's not something you just go out and be like, well, let me see pictures of your ex. So I can understand how the mood would change. I definitely get it. I definitely get it. So Keisha asked Akeche, hey, if you could go back and do this over, what would you do? He said, instead of like, responding the way I did, I would ask her, what does she want out of that conversation? And I feel like that's a fair answer, because instead of just assuming that she's comparing herself to your exes, y'all could really have a conversation as to why. And I feel like you got to think about this from a woman's point of view, right? It's clear that Akeche is not affectionate with her. It's clear that he's not turned on by her. It's clear that he's really not into her. So I think she's trying to see if she's his type. Not so much comparing herself to the exes, but just to see, like, what does he go for? Because there has to be something that's making him not want to go for me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So then we watched a clip of Akeche and talking to Dr. Pia, and Keisha said, those some strong words. I said, I know. Basically allegations, but yeah. Akeche said he didn't say that she was violating his consent. He just agreed. Sir, if you agreed, then that means that you felt like she was violating your consent. Please stop. I can see why she gets annoyed with you, because I want to cuss you out right now. Because that's basically you saying she's violating your consent by agreeing to it. He said that he feels like she's smothering him and she's always all over him, and he just didn't want to go there. He didn't want to even have the conversation, but Dr. Pia said it, so he agreed. So now we blaming Dr. Pia. I feel like Dr. Pia was really just trying to get some clarity on what was happening. Because if you're feeling like this woman is violating your consent, then we need to, probably remove you two from each other. So I'm not mad at Dr. Pia for trying to get clarification. Because, what else is she going to do? She can't put words in your mouth. She can only ask you questions and you can answer them. And then they'll have to do what they feel is best. So Madison is just like the rest of us. So what changed from the honeymoon? Because in the honeymoon, y'all seem equally affectionate and physical. He said that it was all good at first, but he doesn't want to feel like somebody just trying to hump on him and he just met them 2 days ago. But sir, that's exactly what y'all was doing. Y'all had literally just met and you was putting her hand on your penis. Come on now, stop. If you didn't want her to get the idea of y'all humping or anything like that, why would you make such an aggressive move? That's an intentional move. Please stop. I don't like the way he's trying to spend it like, oh, she's just trying to be all up on me. Oh, she's trying to have sex with me. Oh, basically insinuating like she's some type of hoe or something. Like, stop it. You're the one that was, making her feel comfortable enough to make these advances at you. And now that you don't want them anymore and she's trying to figure out why, you feel like she's being aggressive. I don't like it. And I'm not about to get worked up over it because I feel like I already said what I had to say. Stay away from him. Stay away from him. Don't touch him. Don't be in a room with him. Nothing, because he already moving foul and I don't like it. So Keisha was like, oh, so you got turned off. He was like, you're right. I didn't even get the opportunity to want her. And the way she's being towards me is just aggressive, and that's not attractive. Go away, because I feel like I said all I need to say. So now David and Thomas have joined Keisha and Katie, okay? So we get to watch the clip of Michelle and David getting their eyebrows done. And Keisha asked him that now that Michelle is opening up, any surprises you're learning about Michelle? He said it's crazy to see her so comfortable and opening up when she's in her element. It's like a complete switch, and it's nice to see because she likes the people she around and she doesn't look down on them. She doesn't respect you at all, David. Okay, she just doesn't like you as a person. She feels like you're the scum of the earth. Katie said watching these scenes, she was like yelling through the TV. She said Michelle needs to go find her a rich man who she has no connection with so she could cheat on him with the pool boy. And it's time for David to find someone who will appreciate him. I said, well, tell us how you really feel, Katie. But I already said that. If you feel like, that is your main priority and something that you want in a man when it comes to like, status and classism and his wealth or whatever, you can have that by any means. But Married at First Sight was not the place to come for it. It just wasn't the place to come for it. So then we watched the clip of Thomas giving Camille her massage, and Keisha was like, so what happened? What made you do this? Thomas said he realized that he was holding back, and she was asking for assertiveness, so he felt like this was his opportunity. That's right, Thomas. Go for it, okay? Because once you went for it, she said, "Oh, let's go see what it do." So I really enjoyed that scene. Of course, they talk about like, was it uncomfortable with the cameras there and everything? And he said, like, he didn't let it get in the way. He didn't let it get in the way. And that's all that matters. And he must have did a good job because she was the one buying him the diamond earrings. She was, tricking off a little bit, just a little bit. So then we watched the clip of Michelle dragging David for filth, okay? And so Keisha asked David, how did he feel in that moment? And David said he never experienced someone just knocking him down like that. He's feeling it. He said he's definitely getting to his breaking point. I mean, after watching Michelle say how she's embarrassed by him and she doesn't want to bring him around people and things of that nature, I would be at my breaking point too. You know what? No, I would have been broke already and I would have been done with her because that's embarrassing. He said that even his friends had to like hold back how they really felt because that was rude AF. So Keisha said, is it like this off screen too? Like, what is it like? He said after that bowling date, they literally went their separate ways. Michelle don't give a F. Michelle's not trying. I mean, she keeps trying to act like she's trying, but she doesn't care. She doesn't care. And I wish the experts would just let this girl go. So then we watched the clip of Michelle telling Dr. Pia how she doesn't feel like David is a provider. And David's like, I am a provider. I could do all of that. I don't need her money. I'm not here to like piggyback off of her. He's really getting frustrated watching this. He's really getting upset. You can see the steam coming off of him. And I feel like, let's get to the finances. Let's get to the finances. Michelle asks David how much money he makes. Ask him how much he has in savings. And then go ahead and make a decision. Because at this point, I'm tired of people just assuming that this man doesn't have money. Okay, we don't know that for sure. Yeah, he lives in the basement. Yeah, he's saving money. But how much money do you got saved, David? So that we can just put this to bed right now because I'm tired, okay? Either Michelle dump David or ask him how much money he makes so you can make a decision whether or not you want to be here or not. Because you don't know what that man got in his account. You don't. You just going on what you assume or what you think. And Keisha was like, oh, she's just running from the past. Yeah, she is. And she's just assuming that because, he doesn't live the lifestyle she lives, that he's some broke bum. Could it be true? Absolutely. But do we know that? No. So then we get to the last scene of the night, and I'm glad we ended it on a good note, okay? We get to talk about Camille and Thomas' sex life. So apparently, Thomas said he's freaky, but he's not like, Rick James freaky. He's a little bit under it, and he's not into like all the things of the things. He's not into the whips and chains of it all or whatnot, okay? But if she wants him to spank her, he might be down for it. I said, child, y'all, Camille gonna turn Thomas out. But he do have some boundaries, okay? He said, yeah, there's some areas you can't play with. And I feel you on that, Thomas. I feel you on that. But overall, he said that his feelings for her are definitely growing. Not quite love yet, but they're growing. And y'all, that was the after party. I just feel like Madison to be lying the whole time she's up here. Akeche is still saying the same thing over and over and over again. Nothing new to see here, okay? I am happy that we see the progression of Camille and Thomas. And David, just leave Michelle alone. Just leave her alone. And I really, y'all, I really hope that David do have a little bit of money, just a little bit, so that, like, us defending him don't seem as bad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Go ahead, like the video, like the video, like the video. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think. If you did not subscribe to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. With all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.